So we're just coming off the Jordan 4 white cement release, which was absolutely insane for the most part. It feels like that's a sneaker which most people enjoy, so not only did you have a high demand, but it also feels like Jordan brand, they kind of dropped enough pairs almost for everybody to go around. So hopefully moving forward, that's the case for a lot of these releases. Of course, we know it won't be, but at the same time, you also got people that are kind of, you know, more into the exclusive, more limited product, which I'm not mad at that at all because there's a little bit of something for everybody. So with June right around the corner, I thought it was perfect timing for us to take a look at the month ahead as far as sneaker releases. Of course, this won't be everything dropping. You know, dates are subject to change, and more so than likely, we're gonna see a few surprises pop up here and there. So guys, if you enjoy these updates, make sure you smash the like button down below. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe. Let's jump right into it. So first up, we got the Air Max 95 OG Bright Mandarin. Now, we covered this one recently on JA News. Essentially, what you got here is a re-release of a sneaker which originally dropped back in 2011. At that time, they were releasing a series of different Air Max 95s inspired by that OG neon with the gray gradient color blocking. So as far as this year, it's a huge year as Nike celebrates the 30th anniversary of the original release of that first Air Max 95. And as far as all of the different colors dropping, you could put this one at the top of the list of some of the most coveted. So look out for this one to be returning in big bubble form coming up here soon, June 6th to be specific, retailing for 185 bucks. So keeping things moving here, we got Amamanier teaming up with Jordan Brand once again. It feels like out of all Jordan Brand collaborators, they gotta be the ones that are pumping out the most volume. So they're returning back once again on the Jordan 5. This one they're calling Violet Ore. Now, when it comes to Amamanier, I think they're gonna get a lot of criticism, you know, just due to the fact that this one doesn't really separate itself. We've already seen 2 different Jordan 5s drop from them. And with this one, with the same color palette, it really doesn't do too much to separate itself. So I think critics will, you know, kind of expand on that. But if you're just looking for a simple, clean, quality pair of Jordan 5s, I think they definitely accomplished that one. So be on the lookout as these are set to drop coming up June 7th, retailing for $225. And it's a huge year as far as Jordan 5 releases goes. And we got a bigger Jordan 5, one that I think may be a little more popular coming up later towards the end of the month. Now, next up here, we got the Jordan 14 Ferrari. Now, this one is, again, a re-release. I think these actually dropped originally back in like 2014, something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong on that one. So, of course, we know Tinker Hatfield, who designed the 14, said the design was inspired by Michael Jordan's Ferrari. So I think it was really cool for Jordan Brand to like kind of go back and drop a Ferrari red pair of this classic Jordan silhouette. But I would have to say, just like as far as my personal taste, while I know a lot of people will be checking for this release right here, just for me personally, I've never been a big fan of this sneaker, especially Jordan 14s would just have like this one solid upper. I prefer the more OG pairs that have that kind of like leather paneling going on or suede paneling going on. But for this one right here, I mean, these are cool. I know a lot of people are saying this is going to be a huge summer release, which is going to be an instant sellout and everything like that. But just for me, like, I'm just not a huge fan. But as I always like to say, if you guys like them, I love them. Be on the lookout as these are set to drop coming up here June 11th. And then next up, keeping things moving, we got another colorway of the Nike Air Flight Posit. This is going to be a quick strike release of they're called Dusty Cactus. So again, you got another cool color of these. You can expect these to be super limited. And what's interesting about this one, you know, they're set to drop coming up June 12th. And this is actually the very first image that we have of this sneaker. So this is a cool one, but just based off how limited they were, probably another Flight Posit colorway that not a lot of people will be able to grab, but definitely a cool one regardless. And speaking of the Flight Posit, we got the Foampoist, which is going to be dropping here in the triple white colorway. Now, believe it or not, this one is actually on the top of a lot of people's lists, you know, being is that summer is right around the corner. You know, the Foampoist is a classic model, and why not go with an all-white version of this 90s Nike classic right here? So I think these joints are so clean that like once you literally step outside, bro, like the first little hit of dust is gonna have these joints looking old. But you already know these are crazy, releasing June 13th. And how many people down in the comments below are Foampoist fans? Let me know down below, y'all. So keeping things moving here. Now this is the release which is probably, or I guess we should say is probably the most popular one of the month. We got the OG Jordan 5 Grape returning. Now the last time we saw this Jordan Classic return, they released them with this kind of like Fresh Prince theme, which was okay and all that, but these joints are back in OG form. Now, rather than the 2013 edition, which included the Jumpman on the back, this is going to include the infamous Nike Air on the back. So when it comes to a pair of Grape 5s, it seems like this may be the best that we've seen them since that OG released all the way back in the day. So I would say this one's probably at the top of many people's list. After me picking up them black metallic 5 reimagines, I'm not even gonna lie, I'm kind of considering grabbing these, because after them black metallic 5s, I would say that these are definitely one of my favorite Jordan 5s. And a sneaker which, based off the color scheme, it just kind of like screams 90s. You guys know what I'm talking about. So these go absolutely crazy, and I kind of have a hot take. I mean, I know they look so beautiful right here, so clean, but I kind of feel like maybe, I don't know, y'all might get mad at me for this one, but I feel like this kind of might be a model which maybe Jordan brand should have reimagined, maybe gave us like the pre-age vintage look, because I'm just a sucker for like that netting, giving that like yellowed effect. I like when the sole has that yellowing look to it. I don't know. I know a lot of people will disagree with me. I'm probably the minority on this one, but I think it would have been cool for them to go pre-aged on that one. But let me know what y'all think about that one down below. And then lastly, while this one is not 100% confirmed or not, it looks like we may have the Undefeated Force dropping towards the end of June. Now, you guys will know the story on this one. There's apparently 2 different releases, one with the Nike Air on the back versus the other with the Jumpman logo, which apparently is supposed to be a little bit more limited. So they kind of threw a little twist on that one. Now, Kicks Finder, earlier this month, they were reporting 2 separate dates. So they had a June 28th release date followed up by a July 16th date. So my guess would be, you know, one could be like a soft limited release, the other would be a wider drop, or maybe one would be the Nike Air on the back versus the Jumpman pair. But who really knows? I'm seeing some of the outlets reporting that this release has been pushed back to August. So that's one that we'll just have to wait on. But it just kind of still feels like this one's not real. Like, can y'all believe these joints are actually gonna officially drop? Like, I mean, even put all the history, the hype and everything, how limited they were to the side, like these joints are just super clean. Like, they just go crazy, man. So I'm definitely rocking with them. I'll try to grab them. Am I gonna try to jump through hurdles to get these? Nah, but as far as everything releasing, while I would say June is kind of lining up to be somewhat of a quiet month, I think these Grapes are probably gonna be at the top of most people's hit list. So that's just a little preview of what to look forward to coming up here in June. I know we're just coming off the Jordan 4 white cements. I know we like to jump and move along to the next release real quick, but as far as what we got going on in June, let me know which pairs you guys are most excited for. So salute to everybody for tuning in. Of course, I will catch you guys later on this evening, 6 p.m. Eastern for JA News. In the meantime, stay safe, stay blessed. I'll catch y'all later. I'm out. Love.